I didn't mention it before, but she's got a tracker on Bajillia's phone so she knows where she is. Squillia's phone. I don't think I've been writing down blooper. I wrote down one, but I think I had another. Oh, well. Gotta love a good first blooper, huh? Hello there, heroes! I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another Power Rangers Cosmic Fury episode review. I've talked in the past about the last 3 episodes of a season. I don't feel like they always have to be a 3-parter, but I do think that they should be some kind of an arc. Cosmic Fury really is a 10-parter if you think about it. There are individual story pieces, but really the entire season is one ongoing story. Fern and Izzy's relationship, Zeto's magical illness, Zedd's conquest of Earth. These are story elements that are touched on in basically every episode. Anyway, the Rangers have made their first strike back on Earth, liberating a prison, destroying Amwizo, and capturing Squillia. But will the Rangers get any useful information from the Queen of Space TikTok? Let's find out by taking a look at the 8th episode of Cosmic Fury, Switching Sides.
Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can see all of our videos.
Yeah, and make sure you got your notifications set up by hitting that little bell icon so you get notified whenever we post any brand new videos.
Right you.
What he said was that if you'd like to support the channel in any way financially, you can consider checking us out on Patreon or Ko-fi at OrangeRangerVideos.
Right you.
Ollie and Scrozzle are squabbling about some kind of techno-babbly what's-it that Scrozzle made, apparently almost burning the palace on Eltar down. Zedd tells the two to shut up and get back to work when Squillia busts in, screaming,
"Red alert! All hands to battle stations!"
She reports to Zedd that the anti-Zord force field has fallen. We get another hand wave to the former Rangers, and if you can tell in my tone, my opinion on this has shifted somewhat. I praised that as a cool touch before, but at this point, if we're not going to see the former Rangers, you don't need to tease us with it anymore. Just let the Cosmic Fury Rangers save the Earth. But yes, anyway, former Rangers are getting free and saving other people. What's worse, she can't reach Squillia. Aw, she really is a concerned, caring mother. If something's happened to her and the press finds out, it'll be a PR nightmare. Well, never mind then. PR, press relations, Power Rangers. Kind of a double meaning. Zedd's reply, I don't care. Earth apparently doesn't really factor into his plans all that much. On the one hand, I kind of like the decentralization of Earth's importance. Think back to episodes like Countdown to Destruction, where there were fronts really across the galaxy. But on the other hand, a whole bunch of current and former Rangers are from the planet Earth. You might want to start there. Scrozzle's techno-wuttery was to adjust the Master Captivator to use the Morphin Master energy, which will make Zedd unstoppable. Bajillia says that's nice, but saving her daughter is a brand issue, so she's going to Earth right now to do that. 3 of the 4 Ravkonians, Zeto, Amelia, and Tarek, are using their mind-reading powers to search for information in Squillia's mind. But basically, even when Squillia was at Lord Zedd's planning meetings, she wasn't listening at all and only thinking about designer sunglasses and social media and, though it's not mentioned, probably heckle at some points. So really, she's of no use to them, and in terms of the plot, the only reason that Squillia was captured was to give Bajillia a reason to attack them openly. We are really starting to feel the limitations of a 10-episode season. Things that could have had entire episodes dedicated to them are now happening off-screen. Javi and Ion teleport in, having liberated Japan from Zedd's forces. Then Izzy and Fern having done the same in New Zealand, which is now formerly New Zealand. Ion tells them that they saw Dr. Akana in Japan, an even sadder off-screen occurrence, and she has a very strong theory about freeing Ollie. If Ollie's Tricera grid energy is what's corrupted, then maybe destroying the Tricera statue and breaking his connection to the morphing grid will free him. That's a really strong theory. The only problem is they don't know where that statue is. They then get a call from someone else with blue Triceratops grid-based powers, Billy. Actually, come to think of it, with a little more time, once again, they could have explored that connection as a way to try to find the Tricera statue. He's reporting that the rest of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers have been freed. He says that Zack's Hip Hop Keto confused the Sentinels, which was a cute reference, though really I would have more appreciated a reference to Min and how she's doing. Linking into another dinosaur-themed season, he says the MMPR are now headed to Reefside to clear out Zedd's forces there. Honestly, I don't know what it is, but it feels like this call was filmed during the production of Once and Always, with Billy on the command center set, Alpha in the background. I don't really know the timing of production, but anyway. The episode then transitions into kind of a weird section. Fern says that, hey, with the rebellion on Earth going so well, maybe life will be boring again soon. Ion says he can't wait to get back to running his cafe, but he can't reopen it until Earth is entirely liberated, or it wouldn't be safe. Then he remembers that he needs to finish packing the cafe up?
I get it.
I don't get it.
Oh, here's one of those things that makes my scripts nice and long. I paused at the beginning of the next scene to write things down and got a very clear look at Ion's menu. So let's have a look here. Alright, Flarkin cake by the slice for $4, or an entire cake for $15, or a mini cake for $10. The bibs are free. There's a new Flarkin lava cake for $8. The magma flows of this hot dessert are in alignment.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Hey, turns out Santora's helping out. You can get her signature slices for $3. But remember, any coupon offers for this previously are now void. Flarkin cupcakes for $4. How about some tea? You can get Ravcon Soothe Tea for $2, hot or coolio. Whiz Shakes are $3, and honestly, the drinks seem like a bargain. They have 15 different flavors, and you can add a shot of Ravcon Whey for $1 more. They do have some regular lunch options. Well, two of them. One seems based on Ion's time away from Earth. Maybe he changed the menu planning to open, but then decided it was too risky. Lichen Stew for $12. There's your fast food prices. Oh, but don't worry, you'll liken it a lot.
That was not funny.
And finally, Solano Stew for $12 for a limited time. But you can get dog-sized portions of it for $4. Remember? Because that one time, eons ago, Solon made an ancient Ravcon recipe that turned out to be dog food. Okay, I can see the clouds forming around MPG and his lips just twitching, so go ahead.
Get on with it!
As Ion is packing up some final things, with the front door standing wide open for some reason, not just unlocked, but literally propped open, maybe the electricity's off and so there's no air conditioning, a little girl runs in, really wanting some Flarkin cake. Her mother follows her in and he apologizes, saying that he's closed for the time being. You know, his reasoning is that it's not safe for the cafe to be open right now, despite the fact that people are walking the streets clearly looking to engage in some cafes and eating and shopping and etc., etc. Another reason for him not to be open right now makes a lot more sense. Prioritizing being a Power Ranger. The little girl storms off in a huff running outside. Ion gives the mother his copy of the recipe for flarkin cake so she can make it at home. A very touching gesture that I only have two problems with. Number one, this is probably a very busy mother that doesn't want to make the recipe at home, hence taking her daughter out to go get some. Number two, this is an alien recipe. Mama Lady's gonna roll up to the store and ask them for Spraggle powder or whatever? How's your scuttle worm? Is it fresh? The girl ran to a nearby bench where a couple of very familiar circus performers are performing. A woman in a green and pink tutu and a man in a very sharp suit with a top hat that has an orange brim and wearing an orange bow tie, by the way, and they're doing a little circus show. The mother catches up and starts watching the show as well. Ion walks the same direction from the shop, but when he sees the two performers, he hides. The woman's juggling isn't doing anything for the kid, so Dr. Sly decides to take a shot, magically transforming into a blue tutu and creating fireworks, which does make the girl laugh. The mother asks if she can give them a donation, but they say a simple smile is payment enough. They leave, and Ion confronts the two performers. Yeah, just in case you haven't caught on yet, these are Mucus and Slither. Funny thing though, I at first thought that this was a cameo by villains from another Power Ranger season. Then I remembered, these two are from Dino Fury. They freak out seeing Ion, but he calms them down, saying he just wants to know what they're doing there and why they're suddenly being nice. He grabs their shoulders, and his memory powers allows him to see Mucus using a wish charm to assume human form permanently and reluctantly, while Slither just transforms because he can do that, and the two of them coming to realize that circus life is way more fun than being evil. And that's when Zedd's force is attacked. Slither says he might be wondering how any of this is possible. Clearly it's because they are the Kwisatz Haderach. Or rather, Slither starts to tell the story about how their circus was destroyed, but Ion reminds them that he can read minds and he saw the whole thing. Well, he read Mucus's mind. Slither's a robot. Slither then cuts to the chase. What does Ion want then? Well, he doesn't necessarily want anything, he just ran into them randomly. But he says he has the best idea ever. We then immediately see Izzy say that it's the worst idea ever, while holding her blaster straight at the camera. I like it. So yeah, the other Rangers are suspicious to say the least, and this does track a bit because the last time any of them saw the two, they were enemies, and even the audience were the only ones that knew that Mucus even survived the final battle. However, Amelia, Zato, and Tarek are suspicious. The three Rathconians don't trust the word of the fourth Rathconian, who they know can read minds. And that's exactly what Ion says. Check them. So they do, and while Mucus accidentally thinks of a fish with human feet,
witnessing a fish grow legs. But not that one. That's really gross.
They realize the two are truly good now. So, let's use them as spies. Fern asks how this spy plan would work, and we don't get an answer to that as we cut over to Bajillia's squid drill. For what it's worth, the whole "this is a brand issue" thing may have just been a show for Lord Zedd, as she does truly seem to be concerned about her daughter. I didn't mention it before, but she put a tracker on Squillia's phone, so she does know how to find her. Back to the Rangers discussing this plan, and Tarek points out that Slither can still shapeshift, but Mucus is stuck in human form. The Rangers suggest that maybe Slither should just do this plan on their own. Mucus refuses to be separated from Slither, and again states how she just hates being a human. I am so split on this. On one hand, it's just like I said in the episode where we first saw Mucus's form. The actress is cute as heck, and Mucus's whole green and pink manic pixie ballerina thing is cute as crud. However, the show really takes this emotion and uses it to make a statement to today's age that is really, really important without going as far as just saying it outright. Zedd says, nobody should feel uncomfortable inside their own body. I mean, you cannot paint that any other way but a statement on trans rights. Things tend to go unfortunately badly when I bring issues like that up on this channel, but let me make it clear. Yes, trans rights.
Well, that settles that.
Zedd makes it very clear he's going to use magic to change Mucus back into a mushroom. Solon and Ion protest, but when Izzy says, hey, why not if he can do it? The two of them can't think of a good reason to protest that wouldn't reveal Zedd's condition. He changes Mucus back into a mushroom. They go over the plan for Mucus and Slither to find Zedd's base and destroy the Tricera statue. Then Zedd turns around and promptly passes out. At the same time, alarms go off detecting Bajillia's squid drill. By the way, Tarek is looking at all this on an old, thick laptop that just looks positively ancient. However, use what you have that works. Actually, when I filmed my last Cosmic Fury episode review, I was back on my old emergency laptop to read the script because my Chromebook had stopped working. Now it miraculously started working again, so thanks, Green Morphin Master. Anyway, Solon takes Zedd to rest while Amelia lays out the plan. The girls are going to go out and take on the squid drill in the Zords, while the guys are going to guard Squillia, because Bajillia is very likely coming in person. The ladies morph and head out in the dragon, chameleon, and shark Zords. I know the Rangers have been piloting all sorts of different Zords all season long, but the Orange Ranger should be piloting the Orange Scorpion Zord. That's just my thing. Anyway, they go to cut off the squid drill from finding the warehouse when two copy guards appear in the city. They form the Cosmic Dragon Megazord. In the meanwhile, Bajillia does indeed find the warehouse. She demands to know what they've done to her daughter. But Hobby says she should be more worried about what they're going to do to her. So, the girls instamorphed, but the two guy Rangers get their entire morphing sequence. This isn't a gender thing. It just feels like a little bit of wasted time. We get a pretty nice fight scene, but Bajillia gets just close enough to her daughter to free her and wake her up, and she begrudgingly joins the fight. We get a little more Zord time this time, still not satisfying, but no longer con-worthy. Javi calls asking for some girl power help, and they say they're almost done there. In a clever bit of thinking, they use the chameleon tongue to trip the copy guards, which splits one of them up, the other jumping over it. They use a mega blast on that one, a mega lash on the one that then got up, and that's that. Speaking of girl power, the mom and daughter squids are beating up on the guy Rangers, with Squillia spitting ink onto their visors so they can't see. But then the girl Rangers show up and this is no longer a fight, it's now a jumping. The Rangers get in attack after attack after attack with no counter from the squids. Amelia finally brings the hammer down, and the two ladies of the Naire family are no more. As it turns out, this works out really well for the Rangers' spy plan. Nobody that saw Mucus and Slither fighting with the Rangers is still alive. As a matter of fact, Slither turns into Squillia. I was gonna say that he should do Bajillia instead since she has more authority, but this episode has established that Squillia knew absolutely nothing about any of their evil plans, didn't pay attention at any of the meetings, so the evil forces would probably realize that and not try to quiz her to establish her identity. Mucus will be Squillia's new lawyer.
I don't think that's a good idea.
The Rangers leave to go check on Zeddo at the base, but we stay with Tarek for a moment as he starts tidying up the warehouse. And we see that someone's tentacle has survived and is crawling around in there. This would seem to portend a return of one of the two ladies, and it's almost based on accurate science. Almost. You see, squids can regrow lost tentacles. They can't regrow from lost tentacles. That's starfish. However, these are aliens, so what do I know?
Actual aliens. Deadly aliens. Aliens of death.
On the squid drill, Squillia gives her sob story to Lord Zedd, who once again doesn't really care and even cuts off the transmission. She introduces Mucus to Inkworth, and Mucus says that they would like to complete the paperwork of Squillia taking over her mother's company, now that she's dead, at their base. Inkworth buys this hook, line, and sinker, and has the Sentinels set a course for Eltar. On the base ship, the next day, Zeddo's been passed out longer than the 14 hours before, and the other Rangers piece together that this keeps happening, especially when Zeddo uses magic. Something's going on here. Ion and Solon do their best to play this off. He's gonna be fine. Hey, it's really nice outside. Does anybody want to go for a walk? But Zeddo wakes up and hears them clamoring to come up with excuses and walks out and comes clean to the others. He says that he saw how uncomfortable Mucus was before he helped her and realized that telling the two to lie for him made them just as uncomfortable.
No, I don't think so.
I'd argue against that just a little bit, the awkwardness of lying to your friends versus not feeling like you're in the right body, but still. Amelia says she can't believe that they may lose Zeddo again. No, Red. You're gonna lose him again. But actually they paint this kind of hopefully that maybe they can find a way to keep him around this time. They then get a coded message from Slither that the two are on their way to Zedd's base on a planet called Eltar. Something about that wording just bugs me. I get that these are the current Power Rangers. Eltar is a tourist destination to them, especially to someone like Slither and Mucus, but to us, Eltar is a really big deal. Feels like you could have had even Solon say, Eltar? Home to the famed sage Zordon? Zedd is there? How rude!
How rude.
Fern says it looks like Ion's crazy spy plan might just work. And he looks back at her ominously.
Suspense.
On Eltar, the two spies find their way into the throne room and plant a bomb on the Tricera statue. An alarm goes off, Zedd and a morphed Ollie storming in, but then the bomb does successfully go off. The Tricera statue is destroyed, Ollie is instantly demorphed and seems dazed for about a minute. Zedd zaps Squillia for being a traitor, then realizing that it's actually Slither. He moves to destroy the two of them, but then Ollie stops him. These two have betrayed their emperor. Zedd was never really their emperor. They don't deserve a quick death. They deserve to suffer. He orders the Sentinels to shackle Slither while they find a way to contain Mucus, who seems to run away. You know, Ollie? I'm not buying it. Not this time. But for now, let's gaze at the stars. Episode 8, Switching Sides. Pros, delightful return for Mucus and Slither, more of the serious story beats, and a girl power Zord fight. cons. Too much of this story happens off screen. The whole cafe kid thing was a weak way to get to Mucus and Slither. And Zedd's ennui. I liked this episode, but it wasn't fantastic. Switching Sides gets 3.5 stars out of 5. It is always delightful to see Torum Heng and Campbell Cooley on the screen, and not just because it's always great to see voice actors get some time acting on the screen, but how these specific two portray their characters. Kind of like with Heckle, it's always satisfying to see fun, evil characters get redeemed and become good. Really more so with these two, who learned naturally that being good is just more fun. And these are not just cameos. These two took out an evil Power Ranger, a key part of this plan. All the series story stuff is once again handled really well. The gloom and sadness as Zato reveals his condition to the other Rangers. The suspicion of the Rangers as Ion brings Mucus and Slither back to the base. Even the end of the episode, though I am suspicious of Ollie's intentions, his dark visage really added a touch of chill to the conclusion. I really enjoyed that the Zord fight featured only female Rangers, and if you think about it, that was an intentional choice. The Q Rangers did abide by their assigned colored Zords, for the most part as far as I remember anyway, so this Megazord would have featured 2 Gaia Rangers, even if one of them was an old purple dragon man. The original cockpits let them choose whoever they wanted to be in this fight, and it was the ladies to the rescue. Heck, we got bonus girl power points on the villain side, as both of the ladies Naire were shown to be capable fighters. Too much of this story is happening away from our eyes. The other former Rangers are escaping the jails and liberating people. Happens off screen. 4 of the Rangers liberated 2 entire countries. Yes, smaller countries, but still off screen. I understand the limitations of budget and where you can film and stuff like that, but just give us a little bit of on-screen footage. I had this idea. It wouldn't entirely work, but I thought about this. If they had reused a little bit of Legend War footage, obviously none of the X-Borgs, but just shots of past Rangers fighting, I'd almost think that was a cute little wink nod. If it had made just a little bit more sense, the whole kid in the cafe thing might have worked, and hey, there's always the possibility we'll see this kid again and it might hold some more weight. But Ion suddenly decides that he needs to pack up his cafe for some reason, take some stuff out of it while leaving the door wide open, and suddenly a child is having a temper tantrum about not getting Flargon cake, running straight to Mucus and Slither. It was cute, just a little weak narratively. I will admit this is kind of a stretch, and it is kind of befitting of his character, so we'll call this a very weak con, but Zedd not really caring about anything got a little bit annoying. He had no presence in the previous episode, and barely had a presence in this one, only really acting in power at the end. I do understand that Zedd has a greater plan, but things like losing control of Earth and losing one of his top generals should at least be minor irritations. All in all, an okay episode that does properly convey the stakes of the situation, but also kind of wanders and meanders through those stakes. Things are serious, but I'm feeling the lack of a sense of progression. We're nearing the finish line here, so let's take a peek at the 9th episode of Cosmic Fury, Master Plan, and see if we get some direction. The connection to the morphing grid is in danger unless the team can travel to Eltar and take back the Master Captivator and Ollie without backup. Well, that seems at least a little bit better. That's going to do it for another Power Rangers Cosmic Fury episode review. Thank you, heroes, so much, as always, for watching. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that thumbs up button right down below. And while you're down there, you can also leave a comment letting me know what you thought of this episode, as well as my review of it. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. Ion tells them all that they saw As Ion is opening up some as Bajillia does truly seem concerned about her daughter. And again states how much she just detests the fact that she's The Rangers leave to go check on Tarek, who says that they want to do the paperwork of Bajillia taking over the company because Bajillia is dead. Bajillia, Squillia. Now that Bajillia is dead, who says that they would like to do the paperwork of Bajillia taking over, mother frickin' dink, who says that they would like to do the paperwork of having the Rangers see that on the base ship, on the base ship, Zeto's been passed out longer than the next day, as both of the ladies Naire were shown to be capable fighters. I'm angry. I have a burning angry in my angry. If you did enjoy this review, I'd like it if you'd head down below and hit... Why am I having so much trouble with outros lately?